What's going on YouTube? JT Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about DCeased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 3 of 8 of this limited series, which is said to act as the complete conclusion to the DC series in general. So yes, we're 3 issues into this thing. The story's moving along just fine. It's very quickly paced. There's a lot of characters and ground to cover, so it feels like the story is kind of moving so quick that there's really not much time to sit down and kind of breathe, because it's still kind of setting the plot forward, but no pages necessarily wasted. In this issue, we kind of learned the story of kind of how Adam Strange and Thanagar, all that kind of got infected in that 1 month before a cure was found, and there's this big warning about the world having to kind of change with the Undead Gods coming. There's some big epic thing going to like cause like the destruction of the universe. We also see Lobo, who gets brought into the conflict to kind of save the universe simply because they killed his favorite bartender, and he's also in it for the money. So I thought that was kind of funny. There's some funny characterization moments with Lobo, and then we also get the funeral of Diana Prince, and we get a couple people there. Ares, the god of war, shows up. The Amazonians and Oliver and that don't find him welcoming here. And one of my favorite moments in the entire issue is this moment where they're brought to the Hall of the Gods by Ares, and Green Arrow is given like this magical bow, and he's like, hey, it's kind of top heavy, mind if I tweak it a bit? And then he's like, wait a minute, the bow of Apollo? Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think there's some funny moments sprinkled in throughout this, especially with Lobo, and also that moment with Green Arrow and that. I say Tom Taylor should write a Green Arrow series. I feel like that's probably what he's best suited. Like, his Dinah and Green Arrow are generally pretty good. I think if there was any character he should write, it should be those two. They're just kind of on point so well. Ares basically also warns about how the universe is pretty much doomed. The old gods, new gods, before what they dealt with was nothing. What they're about to deal with basically means the end of the universe entirely, and that is the threat known as Erebos. Now, Erebos, I looked it up afterwards because I was like, who the hell is Erebos? It's like it's basically like this dark, like in Greek mythology, it's like this dark entity of sorts, like the personification of like almost like chaos and like dark, bad, very nasty things. I don't know if Erebos has actually ever appeared in DC Comics before, but it's one of the old gods per se. But that's basically it. That's just kind of the issue in a nutshell. In terms of the art is quite good for the most part. It really suits the characters and the designs and stuff. I've enjoyed the DCeased art for the most part. I think my favorite art style was probably either in like some of the Hope at World's End issues out of the 3 DC series, but the art in this one is still pretty good. There's a lot of nice violent moments kind of showcased quite well. The humor is on point. The story moves along at a pretty quick pace generally, and it just remains an exciting story. I've really enjoyed DCeased. I've enjoyed all 3 DCeased, well, technically 3, and then like the 2 spin-offs, like 5 DC stories that we've gotten, and it's gonna be sad when the series actually comes to an end, but I'm glad we're kind of getting there. Although there are some lingering plot elements we've still never gotten answers for, like in Hope at World's End when Talia al Ghul takes Stephanie Brown away. We never did get a follow-up to that in Dead Planet. I hope we do get a follow-up to that in this series, because that's just been something that's been kind of lingering, and it's kind of bothered me for the longest time how we haven't gotten any sort of follow-up to it whatsoever, even after they found a cure for the whole thing. Like, come on, there's got to be something that they can do to like explain that situation. But all things considered, I enjoyed this one. I think if you've enjoyed DCeased, you'll enjoy this one a lot. Setting the stage for a big, huge, epic conflict. Adding in Lobo is a nice touch. The humorous moments with Oliver Queen and that felt like a genuinely funny moment. And just seeing the chaos in that like kind of explode a little bit more, and getting this new threat kind of added to the whole anti-life equation thing makes it a little bit more interesting. So seeing the old gods versus the new gods, and like this whole destruction war and all that crazy stuff, and having Ares involved too, adds some new elements to it all, and I think it makes it a little bit more exciting. So we'll see what happens next. I enjoyed it, and I think a lot of people should enjoy it too. And if you have any thoughts on it, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. I didn't get to the other comic books I wanted to cover yesterday, but I will start to get to those later on today. I got to cover, was it Dark Crisis, Young Justice, DC versus Vampires, All Out War, and then there's Batman Superman World's Finest, the latest issue, because yesterday I covered the last issue of Nightwing, the most recent one. And then I saw Battle of the Super Sons, which you should check that movie out. It is quite good. So I've got my Tom Taylor issues out of the way for the week. So next up will probably be Batman Superman World's Finest, then All Out War, and then we'll finish off with that very well disliked Dark Crisis Young Justice thing. So look forward to that. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.